Do you think Doc watches? Do you think he watches when he's, off or something? Sometimes I hope not. But he lets me be me. The school bus aide allegedly struck and injured students. Got to get going on this one again. Per law and crime, the Englewood Police Department arrested 28-year-old Kiarra Jones, Colorado school bus aide, for crimes against at-risk adult juvenile third-degree assault after she allegedly struck at least 3 nonverbal students who have autism. Department says the investigation began March 28th when the Littleton Police Department alerted them about possible child abuse against a student on a Littleton public school bus. Investigators reviewed video from the bus that showed Jones, a paraprofessional, well, that's her title anyway, assigned to a student on the bus, hit the boy several times. Police obtained an arrest warrant on April 4, took Jones to the Arapahoe County Jail, where she has since posted a $5,000 bond. You see the screen grab there. Now, the parents of the 3 children have since hired a lawyer and held a press conference Tuesday morning. The parents said their children suffered a knocked out tooth, fractured bones, and deep bruises. Jones, an employee with Littleton Schools, accompanied the kids on the bus each day as it took them to the Joshua School, which caters to students with autism. Why was she on the bus? Why did the school hire her to accompany them to keep them safe? Because they needed a little bit of help.
With millions watching and many people benefiting from this program called Indisputable, we just need 1% of the viewers to become a paid member so we can continue to bring this content to you. Now back to the show.
And look at this, knocked out tooth, bruises, bones fractured. Per CBS affiliate KCNC, Devin and Jess, who declined to give their last name at the press conference, said they first noticed bumps and bruises on their 10-year-old son Dax back in September 2023. The parents said the child's injuries worsened over time. Both were extremely emotional as they described the ordeal, with Devin stating, "They took my trust and spit on it." This is their son. Can't be with your kid all the time, and you shouldn't have to be. Jess reportedly said she took her concerns to the Joshua School, which told her the injuries did not happen while he was in their care. Top leadership at the school includes Cindy Lystad, executive director, Sam Davis, the director of schools. Littleton Public Schools, which is headed by Superintendent of Schools Todd Lambert, allegedly told Jess there was nothing to be concerned about. Thanks, Todd. After she questioned them, Jess said during the press conference, "I notified LPS on March 18 and on March 19 got a phone call from Littleton Police informing me that an LPS employee had severely abused my child. I went to the LPS transportation building and was in utter shock." So see, Todd, there was something to worry about, actually. A lot. A lot for this mother to be concerned about. Parents chose to publicly release the bus surveillance video on the afternoon of March 18 that shows Jones elbowing and slapping the child in the neck and face and stomping on his feet, seemingly unprovoked. By the way, having spoken to many dedicated professionals, their life work being one of whom, who I adore, and sat opposite on this very show, there are people specially trained to deal with special needs people and children, unprovoked. I think what we're saying here is we're all human. The child, biting someone, you lash out. Well, you can't. You cannot do that. You're specially trained on how to soothe, bring the temperature down, offer aid and comfort. I didn't see that. Jess said, fighting back tears, "How could someone that I trusted, someone that I was so friendly with, do this to my little boy? The torture, the torment of my sweet boy could have been stopped." Mother's tears. Feel her pain. 2 other families reported similar injuries on their children, and Ed C. Hopkins of the Rashad Mohammedba law firm, representing all three families, and stated they are planning to sue Littleton Schools. Hopkins said of the matter, they had everything they needed to stop it faster, and they didn't. They had noticed, and they ignored it. These children have been traumatized and tortured because they failed them. Imagine this is happening. You don't possess the ability to tell your parents what's going on. Frustrated, fearful, anxiety. I agree with this attorney. Mother said it was happening. When Todd, the superintendent, called her, had he even bothered to look at the footage or had someone else do so? Sick. Todd shouldn't be the superintendent for this reason alone. And I suspect this wouldn't be the only reason. My opinion, again, disclaimer. Although Jones is not yet facing charges in those cases, why not? Detectives are continuing to review an extensive amount of media, video content, and other evidence. Oh, that's why. Want to make sure when they disseminate those charges, they get everything. Meanwhile, the Joshua School said in a statement it first heard concerns from a mother in January, adding, self-injurious behavior and unexplained bruising isn't uncommon in our students, but because of the concern of a mother trying to identify the source of her child's injuries, we contacted the Littleton School District to request a review of transportation footage for anything out of the ordinary. At that time, we were assured by LPS that nothing out of the ordinary had occurred. We then continued to communicate and work with the mother to identify the source of her child's injuries. So let's separate the two institutions if we can. The Joshua School, thank you. You actually must care about children. You must care about people who need a little bit of assistance here. You wouldn't stop. You said, hey, it didn't happen here, but let us help you navigate this. And what did Todd, the superintendent, do over at Littleton Public Schools? See here. Bye. Disgraceful. Disgraceful. Littleton Schools gave Law and Crime the letter it sent to parents of students on the bus. The district claims it did not learn of the injuries until March 19th, then began an internal investigation and alerted law enforcement. The district fired Jones, who had been employed there since August, the same day. They got rid of her the same day. That means they could have gotten rid of her sooner. Kind of behavior cannot be and is not tolerated. Lie. It is tolerated. It is tolerated. If only for 24 hours, it was tolerated. As parents, you trust us with the well-being of your children, and you should never have to worry about them being harmed when they are in our care, the letter said. Who plagiarized from the mother's statements? That's what I would ask. Who plagiarized what the mother tearfully probably said at the press conference? No parent should ever have to go through this. No child should ever have to face something like this. Cannot fend for themselves, cannot fully articulate what's going on. That's hell. Every day, this caretaker, this paraprofessional, ushered this child around, including on the bus. That child was in danger and not alone. Do that work, attorney. Need you to go on and do that work and find anybody else who was affected by this one. Disgusted.